Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the May 16th Board of Education meeting. Tonight is our board trustee and budget vote. The polls are open till 9 o'clock, so if you haven't voted yet, please, you have time till 9 o'clock tonight. And we have our high school students, Morgan and Lucy, tonight. Welcome. Who wants to go first? Okay.
Last month, our music department had their spring concerts. The band, choir, and orchestra dedicated the last few months to learning these pieces in order to perform for the community, and each concert was a huge success. Great job to everyone who put in the hard work to make these performances so special. The Players Club did an amazing job in their spring musical Spamalot a couple weeks ago. The Monty Python spin-off musical was hilarious, and all the audience and cast enjoyed the performance. A special congratulations to Caitlin Copps, who is nominated as featured actress in the musical at the Metro Awards, which recognizes exceptional schools shows across Westchester and Putnam counties. The show's choreographer, Mara Dabi, was also nominated for her outstanding choreography. Congratulations to the whole cast and crew. A big thanks to the PTA for organizing a workshop with Broadway actress Cara Lindsay. Students were able to sing in front of Lindsay and were given advice on how to enhance their performances. This past Saturday, Eastchester held their 16th annual Relay for Life ceremony. Those affected by cancer spoke about their experiences losing loved ones, and all survivors were honored. The beautiful event ended with a stroll around handmade lanterns. We'd like to give a huge congratulations to the girls' flag football team who won their last game from 13-2 and have made it to the playoffs. This is incredible, as this is the team's first year playing. Congratulations to varsity athletes Quinlan Hood and Kevin Wong for qualifying for the New York State Section 1 golf tournament. Both qualified to move on to the next round and a chance to qualify for states. Great job, boys. This is the last week of the 9th grade class and Math Honor Society sock drive. New socks are often a luxury for financially vulnerable families. Your donations will provide new and clean socks to children and teens in need. Boxes for donations of new unworn socks can be found in the guidance office, cafeteria, and in room 328 for the rest of the week.
This Saturday, the Players Club is performing a 24-hour musical. Participants will find out the name of the show Friday night and will have only 24 hours to learn music and lines. Tickets are free, so come for a laugh and to support the club. The Film Club is hosting its annual film festival next Thursday, May 25th. Come to see what the students have created over the past year. They all worked very hard, and the films they create are always terrific. The sophomore class is holding the annual wiffle ball tournament at the school on June 1st at 3:30. Participants find a teacher to be their coach, and the entry fee to play will be used as fundraiser money for the class's events. On June 3rd, Eastchester Strength is hosting the second annual Combine. Athletes will compete in bench press, sit-ups, a vertical jump, a medicine ball throw, and much more. Everyone is welcome to come watch our athletes compete. On Sunday, June 4th, the boys' varsity soccer team is hosting their second annual alumni game. The game starts at 10 a.m. with a barbecue following the event. All players must make a $75 donation and must sign up by May 28th. On Friday, June 9th, the girls' flag football team is hosting a flag football fun day. At 4 p.m. on the turf field, all Eastchester students from 2nd to 8th grade are encouraged to participate in the event. Fun day is free for all students and all equipment is provided. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to call out Morgan, who talks about Spamalot, but doesn't say that she starred in Spamalot and was fantastic. Morgan played Sir Robin. She was hilarious, singing, dancing, had an accent, an English accent, right? Excellent. So congratulations, Morgan. You were fantastic in Spamalot. And I really enjoyed the play. Okay, thank you, Morgan and Lucy. Okay, we are up to the superintendent's report.
Good.
That's it.
Get over to the mic and
Okay.
show on the road. Okay, good evening, members of the board and community, both live and streaming. The agreement we have tonight is that the superintendent's report will end promptly at 8:30, if not sooner, to allow the board to have their regular meeting and be able to exit and go to the voting area where the votes will be opened, and at 9 p.m. the count should be in. So let's proceed with dispatch. A lot of good news tonight, all about students. We have a senior, Minju Sung, who has received from the United States government a provisional patent. And we're very proud not only to have Minju with us, but I would like to ask Nancy Brown and Michael Boyle, if he is here from our faculty, if they would be kind enough, or Susan Chester, or whoever is waving back there, to talk to us a little bit about the civics project and research class that Minju has been involved in, and the story of securing a patent. So let's warmly welcome you guys up here, and you are Nancy, I know Susan,
you know me.
and Minju. Okay. So you're speaking first.
Absolutely, thank
All right,
you.
you're on.
Speak a little bit together. Yes, come.
Just
All
make
right.
sure
Thank you. Are we good?
good as it gets.
Okay. Hi, I'll stand on my tiptoes here. Hi. Hi, everybody. I'm Nancy Brown. I'm the high school librarian. Last year, I had the opportunity to develop and pilot a new class in civics research with Dr. Susan Chester and Michael Boyle of the Social Studies Department, who couldn't be here tonight.
So when we envisioned the civic research course, our goal was to provide a parallel to advanced science research program, but in the humanities. So I had wanted a course where students could do original research, engage with real problems, and take action. And I wanted to provide an opportunity for students to do what citizens do, and in the process, gain confidence in their ability to make a difference in their community.
Our goal was that our students would identify a real-world problem or issue of their choice, research the history, become familiar with experts in the field, and identify mentors who could help them develop and propose solutions to the issues they had identified.
So before and while they were choosing and researching their topic and developing their project, students took an in-depth look at local government and how things get done in the public sector. Questions such as who's making a difference and how are they doing it, and how does it work within government and also within local communities.
The student I'm about to introduce to you took her research and her project much further than any of us could have predicted, and I am so excited for you guys to hear about it. It is my pleasure to introduce Minju Sung.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. My name is Minju Sung, and I'm currently a senior at the school. I wanted to talk about my project tonight, which I've been working on for around 2 years, since the start of my junior year. And it's called PATH, which is an acronym for Predictive Analytics Using Traffic History. The purpose of this algorithm is to predict the location and probability of crashes occurring given historical data. Now, this data includes this data set includes data such as time, location, and this current model includes prescription, but it can be expanded to receive additional factors such as condition of road and visibility. This would lead to an increased accuracy in the algorithm, and so I'm looking into that right now. However, this data was obtained from open source websites such as NYC Open Data for the crash data and NOAA for the precipitation data. I won't get too in-depth into it, but there are numerous models, even amongst machine learning algorithms, that can be chosen from, and I decided to go with the decision tree, which categorizes objects based on their learning features and displays all possible outcomes. As mentioned, I have been awarded a provisional patent for the method and system of predicting car accidents. Now, this provisional patent gives me an additional year to work on and finalize my work before I have to file for a non-provisional patent, which would legally give me the rights for my idea. It took around a year to draft and file for the patent, as I had to write most of it myself, although I'm very thankful to a kind lawyer who gave me a lot of guidance along the way. Some prospects of this algorithm include updating it from a predictive to a prescriptive algorithm, which would allow the model to not only predict the location and probability of crashes, but also prescribe possible solutions to those. For instance, if 5 crashes were predicted to occur at a certain location, it could prescribe 1 or 2 police cars to prevent them. It can also be connected with APIs to take in real-time data and make predictions as such. And recently, I've been hearing of its use in the insurance agencies. However, this is still a branch that I'm looking into. On this next slide here, I have some following diagrams and documents that I collected throughout my process. On the top left, you'll see a diagram of a part of New York City, and the larger the circle is, the larger the accident predicted is likely to be, and the darker the circle is, the higher the precipitation predicted on that day. On the top right, you'll see a heat map accompanying the map on the left, and on the bottom left is a graph showing the correlation between precipitation and car crashes. The middle page is the first page of my provisional patent, and the bottom left is just a photo of the potential prospects of this algorithm. Thank you very much.
Just if anyone has questions, we're happy to answer them.
Would anyone want to ask? Go ahead, Judah.
Make a comment. I'll make 2 comments, I guess. Thank you. Yeah, good catch. Sorry. So I've spent a lot of time working with Mr. Boyle in his civics action, speaking to his classes numerous years. I know, Vita, you spoke a few times, I think, in the last couple of years. Some of the folks here have spoken. So it's really exciting to me to see this unique approach to sort of the ASR equivalent. That's really such a wonderful extension, so I'm real pleased with that. Congratulations on your patent. And I guess my question would be, can you figure out how to predict and prescribe against trucks going on the hutch? Because I think we had 2 of those just yesterday. So
Yes, definitely. Currently, the data is limited to New York City, as that was the area I was working with as the most I think it's very populated with cars there. But anytime I can include data for other states or even countries as well to predict the likelihood of car accidents.
Excellent, excellent. Great stuff, great stuff. Congratulations.
Any other questions from the board?
I have one, just one. So is this, what you created, like, is it its own chunk of, like, data, API data that, let's say, a Waze could take and embed it into their application, you know, to kind of predict or give an alarm of sorts of maybe an area that's coming up that you've predicted that there could be an accident? Like, is that kind of how?
Yes, it is a machine learning algorithm, so it can be implemented into other web mapping sites as well. For now, I haven't developed a special platform or app to contain this algorithm. I'm looking into that right now, but it can be implemented.
Yeah. What college are you going to?
I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm thinking Buffalo, maybe,
Okay.
because I heard they have a good research
They're
program.
lucky to have you, whoever.
Yeah. Is it a utility patent or a design, or
It's a utility.
utility patent? That's great. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Very impressive. Very good. Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations.
Michael? Okay, you get to send it. Congratulations again. Okay. Okay, that's great, great news. Let's stick with students for a while. We have our future business leaders of America. They have shown and shine at the State Leadership Conference. We have our advisor, Lauren Stippo, and some of the students here. So let's invite Lauren to come to the microphone. And would you like your students to join you? Come on up here, guys. Okay, welcome, Lauren.
Good evening, board members and the Eastchester community. I'm Lauren Stipo, and I'm one of the business teachers here at the high school. We're fortunate to have a very robust business program here in Eastchester, and about 3 years ago, one of my business students came and asked if he could start a chapter of Future Business Leaders of America, or FBLA. So we started the chapter 3 years ago in what was still COVID, and the club has been doing really well since then. We have, there's 20,000 members in FBLA nationally. It's a national organization. And the club offers 60 competitions in business, technology, and the social sciences that students can choose to compete in. So the Eastchester chapter has now grown to 54 students, and 18 of those students just competed at the State Leadership Conference in Rochester. Tonight, I'd like to introduce you to some of the members and let them speak to you about the club and their competitions. Mia Faustini, she's behind me, is the president of our chapter here at Eastchester and has attended 2 state leadership conferences and has placed in 4 competitive events at those conferences. Sal Conti attended the State Leadership Conference this year and contributed to winning 3 awards for the program of work, which he will speak to in a couple of minutes. Sayori Manoa has attended the State Leadership Conference for 2 years. She placed in 6 competitions, and she was one of 2 students to go to the National Leadership Conference last year in Chicago, where with 15,000 students from across the country, she placed second in networking infrastructures. So we're really proud of her. We have 4 students here tonight that were at the State Leadership Conference this year and are going to nationals this year in Atlanta, Georgia. We have Ava Policina will be competing in the business plan competition. Kaya Nolan will be competing in advertising. Noman Unjak will compete in networking infrastructures, and Nanato Kuboy will compete in digital video production. These students have worked very hard at their respective competitions, and we wish them the best of luck in Atlanta. At this time, Mia Faustini wants to say a few words about what FBLA is.
Good evening. I am Mia Faustini. I've been in FBLA for 2 years, and I have learned skills that can better prepare me for when I go to college. This year, I am the co-president for my chapter, and I feel I have benefited greatly from being in the program. FBLA has helped me with my leadership skills, work ethic, and taught me organization skills that can benefit myself and others. FBLA has also given me a broader perspective of the business world and taught me what it takes to succeed in business. It has provided me with opportunities to develop my technical skill and stay informed about the latest advancements in the business world. It also helped me with my networking skills, as that is crucial when collaborating with other students throughout the organization. I would recommend FBLA to any Eastchester student, as I feel that it provides crucial experience within the world of professionalism and acts as a stepping stone for college and onwards. Now, I introduce Sal Conti, who will talk about our program of work and daily club activities.
Good evening, members. Oh, wait. Good. Good evening, members of the board and the community. Thank you for allowing some of our FBLA members here tonight. My name is Sal Conti, and I joined FBLA at the start of this year to get more involved in my community and to be ready to excel past the high school level. Our chapter is one of the chapters that focus on education, service, and progress, which are the three important mottos that FBLA is founded upon. I had the privilege of working alongside my peers of the several programs of work, or POWs, which had gotten the members to get involved in their local community, which brought them to the State Leadership Conference. Every year, our state officers develop a variety of programs that each chapter completes before the state conference every year. One major program of work that I had personally worked for mostly was the Chapter Chronicles. The Chapter Chronicles for the local chapters creates articles and of achievements, events, and other accomplishments that the chapter has had. Our very successful event that FBLA Eastchester had funded was the Careers in Business Night. The Careers in Business Night was a terrific opportunity held by the business department to get students from grades 9 through 12 to get involved and to search for occupations that they might be interested in. I had worked with many of our members to create the article, and I'm very proud of all of us with our distinct team effort. Another article we had curated was the fantastic bake sale for the state organization, which was the Nature Conservancy this year. We had raised $350 in just one day within the 4 lunch periods and sold a variety of baked goods and also spread the word for service opportunities around our local area. Those are some of the articles that we had made, and we are recognized at the state level. Another POW that we had worked on as a team was Earn for the Environment. Many of our talented chapter members had created a social media post outlining the importance of the environment through the uses of Canva, which is which also helps with programming of the social media efforts. This was submitted to the state level, and we had earned recognition at that state level at one of the 2 assemblies that were at Rochester. All in all, there are many programs of work that we had attributed to our FBLA chapter, and this wasn't ever possible without our district involvement with the organization. With the POW alone, our chapter has become more involved and successful because of our increased work ethic and our commitment to being leaders in our community. And in our community, and even throughout our lives outside of the district, POWs will continue even generations beyond, and it will be used at next year's FBLA State Leadership Conference. With the help of our district and our school, we can grow the demand for FBLA and to become future business leaders. I would now like to invite Ava Policino, which is going to talk about competitive events at our FBLA conference. And these are some of the awards that we had won as well. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Ava Policina, and I have been a member for Eastchester FBLA for 1 year. This is my first year as a member. I am in the 11th grade. As you've heard from our 2 previous speakers, FBLA means a lot to a lot of people, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about our competitions. So far, I have been to 2 competitions and 1 meeting. Our fall district meeting, we had competed in workshops. We had attended workshops and even competed in a mock trial, which was very fun for me because I love to speak publicly. I then competed in our spring district meeting, where I competed in an event on public speaking. You have 10 minutes to prepare for what you had for your speech, and then 3 minutes to speak. I found that very fun, and I placed first, qualifying me for states. In states, I competed my business plan, which me and my partner, who is not here today, and did not come to States with me, competed our business plan, which was a children's hospital. We created an entire children's hospital and are continuing. I will continue to compete that event in nationals. Nationals is an event I'm very excited to go to. Atlanta, Georgia has many opportunities and many things to do, but for me, I'm going for the business aspect of it. FBLA has given me so many new opportunities to learn so many things about business. Before this club, I could not have told you what business attire was. Now I stand here in front of you in a pantsuit, which I did not know existed. We took a 7-hour bus ride to Rochester, and it was 7 hours with traffic. My club made it feel like it was 2 hours because of all the fun we had. But more importantly, we went to Rochester. And for those of you who have been to Rochester know it is not a fun place to go. But I was so excited to go. And I'm even more excited to go next year. I don't know why, because it's in Rochester, but I really do love going there. And I love being with my members and my advisor. My advisor, Ms. Depot, deserves special recognition because she has truly done a lot for me this year. I have had 2 major surgeries throughout the year, through this year and last year, and she's been there for me through a lot. That's why I decided to join this club. This club has truly done a lot for me. And more importantly, I really love it. The competitions we do are great, and now you'll hear from 2 people who did a competition. Nanato and Sayori?
Good evening, my name is Nanato Kuboy, and
Sayori Minowa.
the competition topic, digital video production, is created a promotion video for an event in our community or school with a teenager in our community as a target audience. We create promotion video for the Jazzgo event at Eastchester High School. And I'm gonna play right now this video.
Jazzgo was amazing this year.
Jazzgo has been an important part of the Eastchester community for 39 years. We have alumni all throughout the town of Eastchester who are active members of Jazzgo and still come back to see our shows, and it means so much, especially with all of the relationships. We have children and grandchildren of previous Jazzgo members in our shows each year. We also invite many of our younger school children and residents of the town to come to our dress rehearsals and shows. So we love that we've been able to grow, not just within the school community, but within our local community as well.
Sana Han, I'm a senior. Because I joined her in middle school and I always liked to dance.
My name is Alexa Amidamar. I'm a freshman. What's typical is like learning the new types of styles of dances.
My name is Christine and I'm in the 12th grade. So I would say I definitely joined because of my friends. We joined freshman year, and so they were all going to be joining. I wanted to join as well.
I'm Joey and I'm a senior this year. They're my friends. There's 2 other boys there. We're good friends too. And yeah, although it would be, I feel like it would be better if there were more boys at Jazzgo.
I'm Angela. I'm in 12th grade. The memories I created, it was a lot of fun. And like with new friends. Like I didn't think I'd be friends with some of the freshmen that I am with now.
So Nanato and Sayori will be competing with this video in Atlanta at the Nationals. So I'd like to thank the board and Dr. Valenti for welcoming the students tonight to share their successes with you. I'm very proud of all of these young people, and I've enjoyed working and traveling with them. I look forward to sharing the opportunities that FBLA offers to many more members of the Eastchester community. Thank you. Yeah. Well, no, but the trip to Chicago was great last year. We had a lot of fun, and hopefully Atlanta will. Rochester, not so. Ava's right, not so much.
Okay. Are there any questions from the board of our students or our leader here. Okay? Thank you all very much. Great job. Yeah, thank you. Michael, you want to do a Kodak? Close enough, Michael?
Have everybody in it?
You got everybody?
We got everybody. Got a Rochester before Mark. Well, was it Rochester?
Thank you.
March or April? Was the Rochester trip in April or was it in February?
It was in April, yeah.
All right, so only a little bit of snow.
It could have been much worse.
I agree.
Okay. All right, we're doing just fine on time. For our next 10-minute presentation, we have our athletic year in review. A lot has happened in athletics this year, and we've made a number of commitments in terms of strengthening programs. And our Director of Physical Education, Health, and Athletics, Brad Gitlin, he's the gentleman you see leaping for the ball there. Yes, that is Brad reaching for the ball. And then sliding into home plate. I think that's you, Scott. We have you sliding in safely. In any event, Mr. Gitlin, would you come forward and bring your team with you? And let's give Brad a warm welcome, okay? This is yours, and you're going to introduce our guest.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I wish that was me. I wouldn't be here tonight because I probably wouldn't be able to walk. That was one of our fantastic athletes. I believe that was Aiden Schultz. And yes, it was you. Well, again, good evening, everybody. Welcome. I'm honored to be here as the Director of Athletics, Physical Education, and Health. I'm joined here by two of our stellar athletes, student athletes, who will introduce themselves in just a moment and have an opportunity to speak as well. But when Dr. Valenti asked me to create a quick presentation on what we have accomplished in my last 2 years, this year and last year, because as we have come back here, there's been some really great work, and we want to highlight that because it's for our students, and we want to continue to grow our programs, continue to grow our athletic department in a variety of ways, which I'll speak about tonight. First and foremost, I know that most of you know who I am, but this is the first time in public that I'm actually going to be delivering my purpose statement, and I'm going to explain why in a moment. I lead with a commitment of service to the school community and develop an athletic program that values courage, integrity, and empathy, which will be the foundation to find joy in sports and to empower each stakeholder to reach their full potential. Now, let me give you the reason behind this. This year, all athletic directors in Section 1 had gone through professional development with the Inside Out initiative and in collaboration with the New York Giants. The goal of this is to create a more powerful, purpose and educationally sound athletic program in Westchester and Rockland County in Section 1. I'll speak a little bit more later about the leadership and coaching professional development that will dovetail with this and will turn key next year, but this was my first opportunity to say that out loud in public. Now, just to give you an idea of what we do and how many students we impact, I've given you some demographics, some analytics here. So overall, we have annually this year, we had over 1,677 total registrations. Our impact, because not everybody unfortunately makes the team, because there are a number of teams that do cut, especially at the varsity and JV level, and the high numbers of registrants, we still were able to manage 1,193 participants. Those are students who actually participated in sports. Now, there's a gap there that we will want to continue to look to close, but it's a very large number, and we're very proud of that number. I've also broken it down by female and male athletes to show that we do give a variety of opportunities to both male and female athletes. And I broke it down by fall, winter, and spring with opportunities which are next to that. Again, just a few photos and some branding that you probably noticed on our social media next to that, just to share some of those experiences. Let me also take a moment to thank all of the stakeholders that make this happen every single day. So first of all, thank you to the board, the superintendent, district administrators who are present here. But let's not forget about the nurses who clear all of those almost 2,000 students. The athletic department, our office administrator, Stephanie Bondi, who takes phone calls all day, makes phone calls all day, makes game changes all day, just so that we are on time to our competitions and have the leg up on our competition. Our facility staff, we've undergone a variety of bond improvements. They're continuing to make sure that our facilities are in great working and safe order. Our transportation department, for those of you who have students who are participating in sports, know that many teams show up late on a regular basis. We are extremely lucky to have a transportation department and a bus company that delivers for our students. Let's not forget the town of Eastchester, who we partner with on a daily basis. We use many of their facilities. They use our facilities, and is an important stakeholder for us. Our sports club, who tirelessly participates in fundraising. They barbecue for multiple events. They are a resource that if you don't have as an athletic department, we don't operate. The school foundation has been able to fund even some strength and conditioning equipment this year, which is a tremendous add to our fitness center. SEPTA was very impactful with our unified sports. And again, we have our local clubs and PTAs that are very much part of what we do. Now, over the last year or so, we identified, we listened, we prioritized some really important areas that we have to tackle. Some of those are just documented here. We added Special Olympics last year with unified basketball. This year we added unified bowling. So we increased and doubled the amount of students in Special Olympics programming in 2 years. We've identified scoreboards as a major issue on our facilities, especially on the baseball and softball fields. And with Dr. Valenti's support, we are going to tackle that this summer. So we've already gotten prices, we've already gotten vendors coming to the district to give us the quotes that we need to move forward in that direction and put our energy in fixing these problems. Equity, we've heard a lot, I've heard a lot about what we're doing for all different students who have needs like our Special Olympics students, female athletes that felt that they weren't being supported, students at the modified level that felt like they were not getting the right equipment, uniforms. These were all areas that we started to tackle. Uniforms, you see there's 2 examples there. We started a new uniform program, brand new to the district, where we're not passing down any more uniforms. Every program is getting brand new uniforms from varsity down to modified in their 4-year, 5-year cycle. And we've created that plan, and we've already executed this first year. And with partnerships with our sports club, we have now live streaming on baseball and softball. And this year we had live streaming on our turf field with the Huddle camera. This is not just for live streaming. Many times, and most times, the coaching staff uses that as a coaching tool to make sure that our athletes are developing to improve their play. Again, some additional highlights. I've already announced some of them, so I'm not going to go through every bullet, but I want to tackle a couple. I have a young lady standing behind me who's going to speak in just a moment about girls flag football. First time ever in New York State. It was a pilot last year, and our girls are number 2 in the section. Social media and branding. Our social media footprint has grown tremendously. Our branding has grown tremendously. You see some of it up on the screen. But if you follow us on Instagram, if you follow us on Twitter, if you follow all the team pages, that was done intentionally. We had media days this year for the first time. That's something you didn't see outside of colleges or professional sports. We incorporated that with our athletic council. Branding, we created a guide of what our brand looks like. what E we use, what colors we use, what eagle we use, so that we can really build school spirit around that brand. That's what culture is. And then we incorporated, as I said, with that purpose statement, coaching and athlete leadership seminars this year for the first time. We had a sports nutrition workshop for our athletes that was tackled by our strength and conditioning coach. We heard from our students earlier about the combine that's coming up. This is going to be the third in 2 years that we're going to participate in, and Coach O'Connor is leading the charge in the section on that. And you will see messaging starting tomorrow about a middle school student athletic open house, because we want to start to get our athletes, those incoming 7th graders, to really get to them early, get to families early, so we can build expectations, we can build the culture, they really understand what we're trying to accomplish, so that by the time they do get to varsity, we have already navigated those tricky waters. Some of the things that we see on a daily basis about missing practices, registrations, uniform collection, all of these different little items that make it just that much harder to excel. Now, let's not forget that this department also focuses on health and physical education, so I want to tackle some of those before I hand it over to the students here. The high school and the middle school staff are revisiting fitness education. They did a tremendous job over the last 5 to 6 years building a strong fitness program, which is really the direction of physical education, especially at the secondary level. But we're doubling down on some of that work. We're revisiting some units that have kind of fallen off to the wayside, but also some new areas that we feel like we can amplify some of our learning. That includes outdoor education with we're going to be starting an archery program here in the fall for the high school. That's a tremendous add. We've talked about and we're starting to plan for a middle school fitness center. Where's that going to go? We're looking at space in the locker rooms, both boys and girls, because we've identified some space that can be reused and incorporate some brand new learning opportunities. Adapted physical education, K through 12. I met with Dr. Stoll again today. We're going to partner on making sure that our students, just like our unified athletes, get the right support for their physical education courses. We're going to add traverse climbing walls at Greenvale and Hutch. We had the equipment here that was not being used. We made sure it was still safe. We made sure that we could still do it. We're working with our facilities department on getting that installed for the fall. Continued growth in our gymnastics unit. That's been a staple here for many, many years. We brought in a company to audit both our spaces and the equipment to ensure that they're safe, so that we can also then purchase new equipment where necessary, but have to purchase equipment in both schools so we can align both Greenvale and Ann Hutch so that one is not doing something separate of the other. This year, there's an adoption of new national health standards. Our health teachers are doing a great job. It's right now in public feedback. They're looking at the health standards, really diving deep into that work so that they can provide not only feedback nationally, but then bring it back here and make sure that the work we're doing in the classrooms are all best practices based on those standards. And we've also purchased what we're going to purchase, instructional materials to amplify the learning that the health teachers have found. They vetted different instructional tools that will help with the work they're doing in the classroom. And we've identified at least one that we're going to purchase this year to help with that work in the classroom. Now, there's a number of things here that we need to still do to make sure that we are moving forward in a positive direction and making impact on our student athletes in particular. So I'm going to go through these briefly, but I want to give some time to our student athletes so that they can talk about how they're the users of all of this and how they feel about what we've been able to accomplish and where we're moving in the future. So again, we spoke about the scoreboards. The bond is going to give us visiting spectator bleachers, which is, I can't tell you how incredible that is for game management and for being a proper host of athletic events. We're going to look at ways to incorporate new intramural sports and interscholastic athletics. There are opportunities that we still have to incorporate more for our students to build on those numbers that I showed you earlier. We're going to maximize storage spaces. We're moving some people around, including our athletic trainer, and we're looking to make sure that she has all of the right tools and a state-of-the-art facility to take care of our athletes, because that is going to give us what we need to be competitive in the future, along with our strength and conditioning program, which I spoke a little bit about earlier, which is the next bullet. We have plans and ideas to think about a coaching office and a film room. We're spending a lot of time with professional development on our coaches, so we want to be able to give them the space to succeed and be able to give those opportunities back to our student athletes. Again, some other areas down the road, we've finally got our upper gym back, which was tremendous this fall when we lost our lower gym. Now it's time to outfit it to make it a competitive space. Ongoing development of coaches and athletes, and again, including more sports seminars, sport performance seminars from our coach, Coach O'Connor. Now, before I get to questions, I'd like to introduce our two student athletes. These athletes are here for a reason. They are not only accomplished athletes on the field, but they participate in all that we have to offer for us student athletes and students here who are not participating in athletics. So they're going to speak about a variety of different opportunities that we do have for our athletic programs. So I'm proud to introduce Matthew Porcello and Michelle Tiso.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Porcello. I'm a junior, and I just want to talk about some of the factors that go into being an athlete. You know, the athletes can only do so much on the field, and I think part of it is preparation. This year, I played 3 sports, varsity basketball, football, and baseball, and in all 3, we fell up just short of accomplishing our main goal. I just want to take you back to around October of last year. The football team, we had a heartbreaking loss, and that really affected me, because my senior year, I know I wanted it to be like a special year. I don't want to have that feeling again, so I want to put in all the work. I've gathered around all my friends and fellow athletes, and we've decided that we need to put in work in the weight room. Coach O'Connor has always been a special person to our success as multiple teams. You know, he's in there every day, giving us the best opportunity to win. You know, whether we say, can we lift at 7:30 in the morning or 7:30 at night, he'll be there. And we thank him for that. But there's also so many other factors that go into being an athlete. Number one, academics always comes first. Without the academics part, you really can't be an athlete. You know, failing classes and not doing good in school, it diminishes your reputation, and you also won't be able to play. I just want to thank our athletic trainer. She's always been there, you know, helping me. We had a tough baseball game last night where we lost in the playoffs. I hurt my elbow. Today I went to Tara. I said, hey, can you check this out? She goes, oh, yeah, sure. You know, just put some ice on it and you'll be better. And yeah, there's just so many different factors. You know, funding is very important to us. This year, back in April, the varsity baseball team, we got to go to South Carolina on a trip, and it was just such a great experience. You know, all the athletes were bonding, having a great time, and just playing sports, and that's what it's all about. Next year, we're planning on, well, we actually have it, a golf tournament. We're trying to raise our goal of $30,000 to fund for our next trip to South Carolina next April. And I just want to thank everyone who's played a part in athlete success, because, you know, there's only so much an athlete could do. And without the help of these people and all these, you know, having the field ready and being just able to play on a field, you know, some schools, they're not that fortunate. And I just thank everyone so much. And I'm looking forward to my senior year, along with playing with my best friends and fellow athletes and coaches. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Tiso. I'm also a junior student athlete like Matt. Mr. Gitlin touched on it a bit, how we really incorporated a lot within facilities and uniforms, and Matt touched on just the community that he's built within athletes. And I know Mr. Gitlin mentioned it, but Matt and I are both members of a lot of clubs and activities outside of sports at the school. And I think one thing in the past 2 years, especially with Mr. Gitlin, that we've been able to do very successfully is incorporate people that aren't necessarily athletes into our athletic programs and experiences. We have multiple members of our photography and media teams. I do the announcing. If you've ever been to a game, you've heard me on the mic. My fellow announcer, Anthony Smith, he doesn't play a sport at the school, but he is one of the biggest members of our athletics team. So people like him who don't necessarily play a sport for the school now have the opportunity to be a part of our athletics family. We have members of my friends from the choir that I'm in at the school. They come and sing the national anthem. We're able to promote the Players Club with our media, our social media, and just the opportunity that high school gives us to experience sports in such a way is so unique. And I think it's really awesome that this year especially, we've been able to share that with the entirety of the school community and the student body outside of just athletes. But that was my piece. But just to touch on what Matt said as well, the facilities, all of our custodial staff, everyone that puts all this together before the games, Mr. Gitlin, his assistant Stephanie, right? Assistant Stephanie, she's amazing. Tara Maltby, our athletic trainer, they do just an incredible job getting us ready. Coach O'Connor has one of the best strength programs ever. I mean, he gets me ready for everything. And so just, I want you guys to know, because I don't know how much you have seen of it in action. From a student's perspective, it is just such an honor to be able to work with incredible people that have your best interests at heart and help me and every student athlete here to be the student athletes that we are. So I just wanted to thank and give you guys that kind of insight, because it's really amazing, and Mr. Gitlin does an amazing job coordinating it. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Before we do a photo, I do want to have a little plug. It's on. Tomorrow, our girls softball team will be playing in a playoff game here, home. It will be live streamed, but it is a home game against Horace Greeley High School at 4:30. Thursday, the 18th, our girls flag football team will be home against Somers. That is the first playoff game for our girls flag football team, who is again in second place. And our boys lacrosse team played tonight. And the big one that I'd like to share is May 22nd, Monday, May 22nd. Please, everyone mark their calendars. Everyone at home, mark your calendars. Unified basketball, their last home game of the season. We're going to celebrate our Unified athletes. Please come out. We want to celebrate this incredible program. We look forward to having you all there. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, so I want to ask the students a question. Are you ready? We'll start, okay? If you were the athletic director, like Mr. Gitlin, and you could make one change in athletics for next year, what would it be?
I would say, that's a good question. I don't know if it's something he can do, but I would really love to work with our Eastchester student government and some of our other clubs. School spirit is hard, especially, I know no one wants to hear it, but since COVID, it's very hard to get people out to games, to get people to want to be a part of the school community. As I said, there's opportunities too, but you can't force someone to join. I would love if we could work with other programs at the school more, even more so, and just get more things happening at games and at events related to the athletic department that people would come and see, just to raise school spirit, because that's what it's all about.
Okay, thank you. We're going to
Good job, Michelle.
and see what we can do on that one, all right? You're next. You got, if you were the athletic director, like Mr. Gitlin, and could make one change for next year, what would that change be?
Thank you. So as a member of Athletic Council, this year we had a great turnout with all of our events, and I think we could do a little more. So if Mr. Gitlin could maybe put together some more events, because there's so many topics that we could touch upon and just make a great impact on other people and really try to do something nice for the community.
Okay, very good. So, Mr. Gitlin, we can work on those two goals, make them two goals, your SMART goals, two of your SMART goals for next year. All right, let's give him another big round of applause. Thank you. Michael, a Kodak moment? Okay. Okay. Last item, and it's almost 8:30. How do you like that? We are conducting a residency verification program. I wanted our community and board to be aware it's beginning this week under the direction of Faye Hellis, our new registrar. We will be monitoring grades 2, 6, and 9. So in effect, students going from grades 1 to 2, 5 to 6, 8 to 9. The idea is that verification of residency on a regular basis is a wise district practice. Doing it only once in kindergarten really is not fulfilling the total responsibility of verification. So we will be conducting that this week. It's electronic, and we estimate about 800 families will be involved in this process this year. So I want to thank you, and we're right on schedule. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Valenti. Okay, we are up to the consent agenda. Who would like to move the consent agenda tonight? Anyone? Rob, okay, thank you.
Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve the consent agenda, which includes the following: approval of minutes, personnel agenda, Committee on Preschool Special Education recommendations, pupil personnel recommendations, business office recommendations, and other business.
Okay, do we have a second? Matt? All right. All in favor? Okay. Our future meeting dates are June 6th and June 20th. We are now up to comments from the public. Are there any comments from the public this evening? I don't think so. It is quiet. Okay. And board comments, I know Vito had one. Any other board comments? I don't think so. Oh, Rob?
I have a comment. I want to thank Dr. Valenti for, in his superintendent reports, bringing, various students as well as teachers, administrators up and showcasing their great work. I think it gives us, such great insight into what's going on, and really be able to spotlight different students and the excellence that they're doing. So just thank you for doing that on an ongoing basis, and look forward to it continuing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We never had that, and that has really been a great addition this year. So thank you. Okay, anyone else? Okay, Vito?
Okay, just before we close tonight, I'd like to ask that we have a moment of silence for someone in our community that passed away this week. Carmine Masucci was a friend to the school district. He was involved in, he was an engineer by trade, retired. He used to come to all of our board meetings with his pal Fred Moses and advise us on facilities issues and bonds and general maintenance and planning for all our facilities and stuff. Carmine celebrated his 100th birthday in January and passed away this week. So if we could just have a moment of silence before we break, I think that would be appropriate. Thank you.
Okay. So now we are going to recess and go to the gym, where we will have the certification of the election, and we will conclude our meeting there. Oh, sure. Do we have a motion for that? To recess? Okay. And a second? Jackie? Okay. All in favor? All right. Thank you, everyone.
Very good. So we got you out in time.
Yeah.